Anthony Edwards, he was asked recently in an interview with my colleague Stephen A. Smith about the next generation, you, Luka, and he said, I'm better than both those guys.
I expected him to say that. I wouldn't expect him to say one of us is better than him. The thing about NBA players, and especially guys that are that talented, we all believe we're the best. We all believe what we bring to the table is special and unique, and he has every right to think so.
And so you do too.
Absolutely.
Shai just exposed Anthony Edwards' biggest problem. Anthony Edwards might be the NBA's loudest future. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander just showed him the quietest way to lose a crown. Is Ant really the next face of the NBA? Or did Shai just expose the gap between the star power and championship control live in front of millions? There's a name for that gap. Call it the belief gap, the distance between making the world believe something and actually making it true. In May 2025, Shai shoved Ant straight into it. Not because Shai is louder, he isn't. Not because Shai is more marketable, he isn't that either. Shai showed the league exactly what the crown costs, and Ant found out he hadn't finished paying for it yet. To understand how that happened, you need to understand who these two actually are, and they could not have arrived at this moment more differently. The kid built for right now. Some players get adopted by the league. Ant got drafted by it. From the moment Minnesota took him first overall in 2020, every front office in the league could feel what it had. A guard who attacks the rim like he's settling a grudge with it. A smile that shows up exactly when the other 20-year-olds go quiet. A trash talker who sounds like he's already won the argument before he's made it.
I told y'all yesterday that I want to kill everything in front of me.
He had the violence of young Dwayne Wade, the confidence of early Kobe, Jordan-level highlight gravity, and something the league hadn't had in years, a superstar who looked like he was having the time of his life doing it. By the time Minnesota dragged a roster that had barely sniffed contention into back-to-back conference finals, the machine had made its decision. Ant wasn't just popular, he was convenient. He was the answer to a question the NBA had been quietly panicking about. Who takes the baton when LeBron, Steph, and Durant are gone? The Adidas campaign came. The signature shoe came. The national commercials came. The league never had to explain Anthony Edwards to anyone. He explained himself every night in real time.
If you still worry about me, that means we doing something right.
Yes.
Yeah,
you're right.
We
You're
don't feel no type of way about it. We love it. We're going to have something back. We're going to come back. Don't worry about it.
But here's the problem with getting crowned off feeling. Eventually, feeling has to survive a series.
Look, man, talk to me when you want something.
The kid nobody wanted to keep. Hold on to that image. The kid the league couldn't stop selling, because the next story is its exact opposite, and it's the one that actually explains everything that happens in May 2025. Summer 2019. The Clippers need one more star to land Kawhi Leonard. Leonard wants Paul George, so the Clippers build a trade package, and at the center of it, the cost of doing business, is a 20-year-old rookie who just finished his first season, averaging 10.8 points and made the all-rookie second team. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Nobody in that trade was thinking about his future. He was the price the Clippers paid for a star they actually wanted. Their own coach, Doc Rivers, has since admitted he tried to talk the front office out of including him. Nobody listened. Shai, Danilo Gallinari, 5 first-round picks, and 2 pick swaps went to the Oklahoma City for George. No magazine cover, no shoe campaign, just a phone call telling him he'd been traded as a financing tool to a franchise that had just blown up its roster and had no idea what it was building yet. By 2025, George had been traded twice in his career and had left the Clippers with no finals trip to show for it. Shai had an MVP, a championship, a finals MVP, and a scoring title all in one season. Asked what he thought of the trade now, his answer was short.
And I say it worked out in my favor.
Ant was wanted from his first night in the league. Shai was given away in a deal he didn't choose by a franchise that didn't think he was the priority. One superstar was built in the spotlight. The other one was built in the fine print. Storm versus verdict. There are 2 completely different definitions of power about to share a floor for 7 games with a finals trip on the line. Ant is force. He detonates possessions and makes you jump out of your seat doing it. Shai is pressure. He doesn't explode, he bleeds you. He drives into a crowd of bodies without panic, and somewhere in that half second of hesitation, a defender reaches, fouls, or just gives up the angle. He doesn't need force. He needs you to blink first. This isn't hero versus villain. It's two different ideas of control, about to go on trial at the same time. Ant makes you believe something impossible is coming. The next 10 days were about to test whether belief was enough. 2 quiet losses. The series didn't open with a bang. It opened with a slow, sinking realization. Game 1, Oklahoma City. Shai scored 20 of his 31 points in the second half alone, methodically pulling the game out of reach. Ant managed just 18 points on 13 shots in a 114-88 loss. Afterward, he admitted to himself. He hadn't taken nearly enough shots, and the Thunder's game plan, pack in the paint, was built to bait him into exactly that mistake.
I definitely got to shoot more. I'm gonna take 13 fucking shots.
2 nights later, the twist landed harder. Shai got handed the MVP trophy before tip-off of Game 2, the league's official confirmation of who already owned the crown. Then he dropped 38 on the team trying to take it from him. Ant matched him with 32, but it took 26 shots to get there, nearly double the volume for fewer points. Minnesota went home down 2-0, and the conversation around Ant quietly shifted from his ceiling to his efficiency. Not one bad game, a pattern. 2 nights where the more disciplined superstar simply outmanaged the more explosive one. The night the walls came down. Then Minnesota came home, and Ant reminded everyone why this conversation exists at all. Target Center, Game 3. Facing a near certain sweep, the Wolves needed a statement, and Ant delivered one before the first quarter ended. He personally outscored the entire Thunder team in the opening period, 16-14, igniting a 34-10 run that turned a tight game into a 20-point lead before most fans finished their first beer. It didn't stop there. The bench caught fire behind him. The lead swelled to 33 at halftime, a franchise record. By the fourth quarter, with the lead near 45, Minnesota's starters were already sitting. And in the middle of it sat the most telling image of the whole series. Shai, the reigning MVP, benched with 4:25 left in the third and a 38-point deficit, finishing with just 14 points on 4 of 13 shooting and 4 turnovers. The crowd didn't just boo him. They chanted, "Free throw merchant," every time he touched the ball, mocking the league-wide narrative that he draws more whistles than he earns. Ant finished with 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists in only 3 quarters of work.
Yeah, so they said we couldn't stop the MVP, huh? Tonight, I turned Shai Gilgeous-Alexander into Shai Gilgeous-Nowhere. Tonight, I made the MVP look like a missing person.
For one night, the most controlled team in basketball got dragged into a street fight it never wanted and had no answer for. The terrifying part about Anthony Edwards isn't whether he's good enough, it's that he doesn't need to be complete to make an arena believe the future already belongs to him.
Yeah, it's super personal for me because they put us out last year and they got the reigning MVP, so it's super personal. And I think a win like this shows us that like D-Wade was saying, if we bring our defensive intensity every night, we're going to be all right.
The answer. A storm like that demands a response. 2 nights later, Shai gave one that might define his career. Game 4, same building, same crowd that had just spent a night mocking him. Shai didn't get loud. He played the most complete game of the series. 40 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, just 1 rebound shy of a triple-double in a swing game. 19 of those points came in the second half, exactly when his team needed someone to close a door Ant had blown wide open 2 nights earlier. The Thunder won 128-126, a one-possession classic. Oklahoma City walked out of the building that had just humiliated them up 3-1, 1 win from the finals. This is the moment that actually answers the question. Ant proved he could set a building on fire. Shai proved, in the very next chance he got, that he could walk back into that fire and calmly put it out. Ant can win a night. Shai can win the response to that night. That gap is the entire argument in miniature. Closing the door. 2 nights later, there was no drama left to manufacture. Game 5, Oklahoma City. No comeback needed. The Thunder ended it early and made it look administrative, holding Minnesota to 6 points over the back half of the first quarter. One of the worst quarters any team had played in a swing game in 15 years. By halftime, the lead was 33. The final margin was 30. Shai closed his MVP season with 34 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists in just 34 minutes, sitting the entire fourth quarter because the game stopped being competitive that early. He was named Conference Finals MVP, joining Jordan and LeBron as the only players ever to post 10 30-point, 5-assist games in a single playoff run. Final series, Thunder win 4-1. Shai averages 31.4 points, 5.2 rebounds, 8.2 assists. Ant averages 23 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 4.6 assists. Ant had the loudest game of the series. Shai, he had the series. This wasn't a normal loss for a 23-year-old. It was the first time the league could look at the most electric young player in basketball and ask a question that has nothing to do with talent. You're amazing, but are you enough? Shai doesn't need you to believe anything. He just keeps taking the possession from you.
Shai is a tough coverage, man.
Yeah.
Shai is it, because he does have like just a weird, not a weird way of moving, but like it's like he does things where you don't think he's attacking you, but then when you guard him, he's like, oh, this motherfucker attacking me right now.
Not is he gifted. Can he control 4 rounds, every possession, every adjustment, and still be the one standing at the end? Ant won the moments that make fans fall in love. Shai won the possessions that end seasons. The crown LeBron never asked for. That question, are you amazing, but are you enough, isn't new. It didn't start with Ant, and it isn't really about basketball talent at all. We already gave it a name, the belief gap. The NBA calls the deeper version of it LeBron's trap, and it's the reason this whole story exists in the first place. At 17, LeBron got put on the cover of Sports Illustrated as the chosen one, before he'd played a single pro game. By 18, he'd signed a $90 million shoe deal before taking an NBA shot. He never got to arrive slowly. The world graded him like a finished product before he'd built one. That's the real trap, not the media. The fact that once the world calls you next, it stops letting you grow, and it stops judging you like you already arrived. Months before this series, reporters asked Ant if he wanted to be the next face of the league. He said no, flat out, told them he'd rather just hoop and go home, and that the title belonged to Wembanyama instead.
Do you consider yourself the top candidate to be the next face of the league?
No, not really.
Why?
That's what they got. That's what they got Wemby for.
LeBron, asked about it days later, said he understood completely that there's a draining weight to carrying that label, one he never asked for either. Doesn't matter. The crown doesn't wait for your RSVP. The league, the sneaker deals, the highlight reels, and now this series already made the decision for him. And here's the twist LeBron never had to deal with. He was basically already a finished basketball mind from day one, and is still becoming one, live on national television, against an opponent who's already arrived. That's why Shai matters more than any rival ever could. He's not the next name on the schedule. He's the actual standard the league just placed under Ant's feet. Ant isn't only being compared to who he could become anymore. He's being compared, possession for possession, to who Shai already is. From spectacle to command. The question was never whether Ant has superstar talent. That's settled, and it was never close. The real question is whether he can evolve from spectacle into command. Can he manipulate a defense instead of just attacking it? Win when the first option disappears? Punish a trap before it arrives instead of fighting out of it after? Make an ordinary third quarter possession feel as dangerous as a highlight? And remove doubt instead of just inspiring belief. Explosiveness got him here. It won't get him any further. And Shai just spent 5 games proving exactly why. Is this even fair? Maybe this is moving too fast. Shai is older, more polished, further along in his footwork and his command of a close game's final 2 minutes. And is still evolving in front of millions, and he's already dragged Minnesota to back-to-back conference finals before turning 24. It isn't fair to ask Ant to be LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, and Shai all at once, with a microphone in his face after every loss. But that's the whole point. The crown was never built to be fair. LeBron found that out at 17. Ant, he's finding that out right now. The part nobody puts in the commercial. This isn't an ending where Ant failed. He didn't. He's still one of the scariest players alive because he has that one thing you can't teach. The ability to make an arena believe the impossible is coming, and then deliver it. But the next face of the league can't only create belief. Eventually, he has to create certainty. LeBron eventually got there. Shai already has, 6 years after being a throw-in piece in someone else's trade. That's the trap Ant is walking into. Not because he isn't good enough, because he's so good, so early, that people might stop giving him the time it takes to finish becoming complete. Shai just showed the league the one part of the crown nobody can market around. It doesn't belong to the loudest future. It belongs to the player who controls the present. Now Ant has to answer the same question LeBron spent his whole career answering. Not can you shock the league, can you own it? Ant makes people believe. Shai makes teams surrender. Ant doesn't need to become Shai, but after this series, he needs to become harder to solve. That's the belief gap, and right now, it's still got his name on it. Shai didn't just win a series. He exposed Anthony Edwards' biggest problem, and now the whole league has seen it too. Thanks for watching, and I really appreciate you checking us out. So here's the only question that really matters. No both, no it depends. If the finals started tomorrow and your team needs one possession to survive, who gets the ball? Ant or Shai? Pick one and defend it in the comments. Like this video, subscribe for more of these, and let's argue about it down there. Rattling the Rim is where the truth shatters the backboard.